Good evening, Simone.
Hello, Victoria.
Today we're going to talk about Final Fantasy 15 because we've had, how long has it been out now? A couple weeks?
Yeah, it came out on the 29th.
Oh my gosh, so it's been almost a month?
Yeah.
Wow, I was about to say we beat it fast, but nope. We took almost a month. There was so much to do, though.
There was, honestly. They had so many side quests.
How do you feel about this Final Fantasy when compared to things like 10, 12, and 13?
Whew.
Do you feel like it's... Because they completely changed, at least in the beginning half, and went to a more open world, you can kind of do whatever you want scenario, and Final Fantasy's never done that before.
I like the open worldness. I kind of just wish the open worldness was the entire game, too.
I wish it would have been more consistent. Maybe towards the end you were going on the specific missions, but you could still go back kind of whenever you wanted, like a fast travel situation. Like, games can break rules like that. In The Witcher, you fast traveled from this country to this country to this country. Like, it's a game. We know it's unrealistic. So, like, when you're in Altissa, like, just leave whenever you want and go back, you know?
Altissa actually upset me. Yeah. It was gorgeous and beautiful, yet I can't explore but, like, 1% of the entire city.
Yeah, you couldn't really leave. And even when you blow up the map, it shows areas outside of where you could go, like a tease. I was like, why are you even showing me that?
Exactly. And Altissa, oh my god, I wish I could have explored, like, the area, like, the wildlife outside of the city. I was expecting that.
Yeah, I was expecting stuff. More quests, more hunts, more exploration.
Yeah, I didn't want it to feel pretty much like the same thing all over.
That's true. I don't know. I mean, I liked it. It's really different than the other ones. They really, really wanted to change and kind of appeal to a wider scale of audience, I think. I mean, whether that hurt us or helped us in the end, I don't know.
And I wish they had more story content. That's one thing the other ones did have. You had a lot of story, just not a lot of open world. And this time, it kind of feels like they sort of did the reverse.
Yeah, kind of to appeal to the certain type of person that they think wants that open world, endless story with you can do whatever you want and there's not so many cutscenes because that bores some people. But in a Final Fantasy game, that's necessary because there's so much lore and confusing backstories.
Yeah.
And without 10-minute long cutscenes to explain things to you, you have no idea what's going on. Like in Final Fantasy X, there was a cutscene every 5 minutes.
Oh, and it was glorious. Just a sidetrack real quickly. You remember when Yuna and Titus were in like the little pool they were in, and it was just like super gorgeous, and we thought that was like the epitome of the graphics. Because that's how amazing that was.
This is the best any game will ever look, ever.
Right? That scene was amazing. I loved replaying that game for that scene. And then we come to Final Fantasy 15 and it looks like that the entire damn game. I'm like, oh,
yeah,
well,
then you
shit.
get to Altissa and there's magical waterfalls everywhere. And you're like, oh. Yes. Remember when we were in high school and 10 was the best game?
We were actually in middle school, sweetie.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah. We were young. I don't remember. It's been a long time.
But yeah, Altissa was amazing. I actually like the little arena battles that they have. They're easy, but they're fun. It's just kind of a annoying hassle trying to get the medals because you need a shit ton for a lot of the higher cost. Well, for the better items, you need a lot of medals.
Yeah, that's true. But before you get to Altissa, because we skipped to like chapter 6 or 7. Because we just want to talk about Altissa. So you start, and your dad tells you to leave the city and go on an adventure with your bro friends.
Well, he tells you to leave the city to go meet up with Luna to marry her ass.
Yeah, go marry the pretty girl. But the only thing I wanted to mention is that before you start the game, it's really, really, really confusing if you don't watch that movie, if you don't watch Kingsglaive.
And that's the exact reason I watched it right before I played.
See, I got to I don't know which chapter it was, but after, it's really early on, so it's not that much of a spoiler, but after you realize that Insomnia's been, like, destroyed by war while you were gone, it's like chapter 2 or 3.
Yeah, it's early.
It's early on. Then I watched Kingsglaive, because after they got that newspaper in the morning and they were talking about it, I was like, oh, maybe I should watch that movie.
Right? Because if you don't watch the movie, the flashback scenes that they have of what happened in Insomnia aren't enough. They're confusing and they're actually out of order.
Oh.
So you kind of don't get, you kind of don't really understand what's happening. You just see kind of flashes of, oh shit, my father. Oh shit, my city.
Oh shit, my father. That's how you react when your dad dies. Oh shit, my father.
Right? Because, well, Noctis was kind of being a little jerk face at first.
He was a little emo, yeah.
He was. Like, yeah, Dad, I got this. God.
Wish you would have spent more time with your dad now, don't you, you little shit?
Right? Because it's like his dad left the throne room to personally say goodbye. Because his dad knew what was going to happen, even though his son didn't. He knew if his son knew, he would never get Noctis out of that goddamn city. So he had to play it cool, try to give a little goodbye, but then no. Noctis wants to be a little ass, and now he's like, fuck, I didn't say goodbye to my father properly. So he was pissed off at himself, too.
Wish I would have played catch with my dad a few more times.
Okay, it's not a spoiler, but one thing they didn't, did they touch upon it? When you see flashback of Noctis when he was younger, he was in a wheelchair.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that's something. Okay, I'm like, I know he went to Tenenbaum. I cannot. What? How the hell?
Do you think he went there so that Luna could heal him? Is that what happened?
Yes, I think that. Well, because they said he was sick, and then also he had to go there to find out like the fate of the kings or some shit. It's some shit that they have to do in their line. They actually have to go there for a reason.
And if they would have explained this better.
Exactly. So I'm like, this game is missing a good amount of content, but it's still good how it is.
It's a good game. It's just, you have to do a lot of digging, because without the cutscenes that they should have just went ahead and made, I don't care if it upsets some people, Final Fantasy games have cutscenes. And, I don't know. I'm kind of sad, because that's part of what I love about those games, is that there's so many really pretty cutscenes.
Yeah, you just wanted to see your boy band in high definition.
There was not enough Ignis in high definition at all. Like 1%, if at all.
Okay. Well, one way in the game you could actually see more of the boys is occasionally Prompto does just ask you, who do you want to see more of when he takes pictures? Because, that's what Prompto does. He takes pictures. And you can actually choose various members of the group that he focuses on. So when you get your pictures at the end of the night, they have more of that person in particular.
I chose Ignis every time. I just want to put that out there.
I switched it up because being gay, I really don't care.
Yeah, you were like, I want to pick Aranea.
Yes, that was my wife, by the way. Just have to say that.
There wasn't enough Aranea. There was
not. One thing I highly enjoyed that I kind of wish they did more of, but they probably ran out of time. Okay, they did run out of time. They ran out of time. But one mission that you do, you actually have Aranea in your party.
Yeah.
That was amazing. I remember when you first fought her, she's a dragoon, and I was like, oh, it's my wife. Here she is.
I love the mission when she's in your party.
And what?
I love the mission when she's in your party.
Exactly. And so you actually, with her in your party, you do find out more backstory with the Empire, too. Like, you do not find out any other backstory with the Empire in this game, really. It's just so, non-existent. But she tells you some of the things that the Empire are doing, why she actually joined the Empire, because she was a freaking mercenary, and she's like, yeah, I might leave soon. So, that's redemption for her. Join us. And
that is really confusing in the beginning because they don't exactly explain why the Empire is trying to destroy Insomnia. And I guess it's for the crystal, but that's just not enough, in my opinion. If that makes any sense. Like, they didn't really explain how was it even a country? It was a country, wasn't it?
The Empire did start off, and they do have, like, their own little kingdom. The king of the Empire or whatever, he basically started conquering shit, too.
Yeah, but it's like, I don't know. I feel like they should have looked into his backstory a little bit more and his motivations and why he's so easily manipulated, because he's a ruler. Why was he so easily manipulated by Arden? And,
yeah, because that was like the main thing. Probably Arden wanted all this to happen. Like, the entire game, it kind of feels like you're at the whim of Arden. I can't really say more yet.
Yeah, I don't want to say too much.
When our spoiler section, we'll get into this in our spoiler section. So we're just gonna skip this part right now.
Okay, but there should have been more information about the Empire.
There should have.
Or we should have been able to, well, now that's a spoiler. There should have been.
Yeah.
This is so hard.
See, we're being good to you guys who don't want spoilers. We're, like, some of the stuff we're saying, that shit's not spoilers. But yeah, a lot of the stuff we cannot say until the tail end of our stream.
Okay, well, let's backtrack away from the spoilers. I know we want to get to only talk about everything after Chapter 9. Right. But, so you leave, and then you go to Hammerhead, and I wanted to talk about that girl that we're super confused by. Little Sydney. Sydney. Right? Sydney?
No, Cindy.
I thought that it was Sydney, because it was like Sid.
No, it's Cindy. Cindy. There we go. It's Cindy.
Cindy?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I was putting emphasis on the Sid because I thought the whole point was that she was supposed to be like the new Sid.
Well, she is, except she's hotter in a very disappointing way.
Oh, I've never seen Sid look like this before. It's quite the transformation.
Weren't you in love with the Final Fantasy X Sid because he was hot?
Yeah.
And Final Fantasy XIV Sid because he's hot.
Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy XIV Sid. Oh, yeah. Final Fantasy XIV Sid is kind of like Geralt.
I'm sorry, guys. I know every stream we have, we end up mentioning Final Fantasy XIV.
Let's just talk about Amaric. Let's not even talk about Final Fantasy 15.
Anyway, Cindy and Hammerhead, I love and hate her.
Yeah, I'm always interested to see how you feel about the hot girls in the video games.
Okay, as this wonderful meme I've seen says, as a feminist, I hate her portrayal, but as a lesbian, oh my god, yes.
You spent so many nights confused about Cindy.
It's just, in this instance, my feminist side actually is stronger than the lesbian side.
That doesn't happen a lot.
It honestly doesn't, because I love Cindy, but her outfit is way too over the top. I know some of you guys are like guys, honestly, probably love the fact that she's in short shorts, high boots. She's wearing a half-top jacket that's unzipped to show off her bikini and her tits. And when she washes the regalia, oh, yeah. Yes, let's just press the boobs into the windshield. Like, I don't see that in other movies. And that just really just irked me. I always skip that scene because it irritates the shit out of me.
The thing I don't understand about Cindy is that at the end of the day, you could have put her in a full mechanic's jumpsuit, but made it maybe like a little tighter, or she could have still been sexy. But the issue with her outfit is that she's going to get burned all over her body. She's going to get cut up, scarred, because her job is dangerous.
Yeah.
It makes no sense at all. No sense. And I'm not saying she can't be sexy. She can, but in a way that makes sense.
I would actually take her being in the mechanic jumpsuit. It unzipped and she has the sleeves tied around her waist and she's wearing some kind of halter top or any kind of top, because I know when she actually gets to work, she's going to undo those sleeves and put the shit on all the way.
Yeah, that's a good compromise. Because with this outfit, she'd have to go entirely change if she was about to work on a car.
Well, all she would really, with a mechanic jumpsuit, if she goes a little bit bigger, she could actually just take off the top and put the jumpsuit over that. But I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I mean, I like her character. I think she's cute. I think she's a well-designed character. I like your idea with the top part of the mechanic's jumpsuit pulled down.
Well, thank you.
She doesn't need to be in booty shorts.
She doesn't.
So, I mean, I think that there's a compromise between sexy and still functional at your job.
Yeah, and I always make fun of her because of the fact that her country ass accent.
Yeah, why does she have a super southern accent?
Because, okay, they actually gave Sid a semi-country accent, but Cindy, I'm like, damn. And every time she talks, I just make fun of her and I repeat her words, and I just can't take it.
You know what makes me feel really bad is that if you're out exploring and you're really far away from your car and you want to pay to have the car brought to you, no matter where you are, Cindy tows your car to you.
She does. She takes really good care of the regalia. She takes really good care of it.
She'll stop everything she's doing, tow your car all the way to where you are, take it off the truck bed, then drive all the way back home to Hammerhead. That's got to be a waste of her fucking time.
Yeah, it is, because I'm like, Jesus. Especially if you're, like, across the map of Hammerhead.
Yeah, and it's a video game, so the first time I said I want my car brought to me, I thought then the car would just show up. I didn't realize there'd be a whole cutscene showing poor Cindy going out of her way to drop the car off to you. Now I'm like, I'm never going to ask for this again. I feel terrible. I'll just go find the car myself.
Almost every scene like this with Cindy makes me think fan service for the guys, because it's like, okay, here you guys, you have to play as a bunch of bros hanging out. Let's give you some eye candy occasionally. You know how I feel about that.
Yeah, I mean, I like playing as the bros. I really do.
Of course she does.
I don't see a problem with it.
Of course she does.
I like them taking pictures of themselves.
Okay, I have to refer to another Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy X-2. I enjoyed playing as all three of those females, so I guess you guys can have a game where you're playing as a bunch of dudes.
Yeah, I really, really like X2. That's why when there was a lot of controversy when 15 first was announced and they showed that it was a group of all guys, I mean, X2 was all women. And I love X2. A lot of people don't, but it's so campy and fun. So
just like 15 until you get past certain chapters.
Yeah. The beginning is campy. It's campy.
Yeah, and then you even go camping. Coleman, they must be getting some good, sales.
No, you know who got good sales in this game, Simone?
Who?
That was Cup of Noodle.
No, Coleman got good stuff. How often are you going to eat the cup of noodles compared to every time you go goddamn camping? Oh, there's your Coleman tent. Oh, here's your Coleman chairs. Oh, here's your Coleman little stove. Come on now. How the fuck did all that fit in the regalia, by the way?
It didn't. But I've honestly been eating cup of noodle more now. So their subliminal messaging is working on me.
It's not working on me.
Oh, well.
But back to this, this whole cup of noodle thing. Gladio loves cup of noodles. When you get to that, what town is that? Lestalem. When you get to, I'm sorry, I never remember the names of these places. When you get to Lestalem, he talks about the cup of noodle stand because he's like, oh my god, we should get some cup of noodle, and he talks about how efficient they are to eat, how you can add more stuff into them. He's just so
commercial.
happy.
It's a commercial.
He is so happy about these goddamn cup of noodles, and it's like, when you look at this, it's just like the Coleman sign the Coleman symbol on the back of the camping gear. It is legit the cup of noodle, and you're like, okay. So in Lestalem, when you get there, Gladio spots the cup of noodle stand, and he instantly starts raving about the cup of noodles. Just raving about them because he is in love with them and how efficient they are and how you can add more items into the cup of noodle. So he makes you buy cup of noodles. He asks you what like ingredients you like to put into the cup of noodle. You go and you find the ingredients, and then you have to hike all the way up this fucking volcano that you've probably already been up before, and it's a bitch to climb up there. But no, you have to hike up there because there is a camping spot at the top of this volcano where he wants to eat the cup of noodle together as bros.
Oh, hun, that's because of the ingredient you chose.
Why the fuck did I choose that damn?
Because, yeah, it's if you choose, like, shrimp or egg, or I forget what the other one is, but I chose shrimp, so I had to go down to that beach house by the lighthouse.
I hate you.
And I had to fight this crab on the beach to get some shrimp meat, which I guess shrimp from crab, I don't know, it's a game. And then we went to a camping spot nearby and camped out and ate the shrimp cup of noodles. But it's based on the ingredient you chose.
I hate you.
Well, I don't know. Which one did you pick?
I chose the fucking egg, so I had to hike up a goddamn volcano again.
Did you have to get those bird eggs up there?
Yes. But did I fight the bird? I didn't fight jack shit except the little mobs all the way up, on the way up to the volcano.
Oh, I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah. God damn it.
You should have picked shrimp.
No.
I'm listening to you explain it, and I'm like, I didn't have to go up no goddamn volcano.
See, this woman got lucky because I decided, you know what, F it, I'm just going to choose an egg.
And how bad can that was easy.
No. Let's go up this volcano and get this zoo bird egg. Yeah, let's do that. You fucking Gladio.
Gladio, you're so pretty, but why do you do this to us?
Gladio pisses me off sometimes.
Oh, yeah, he does. He pisses me off, too. That cup of noodle thing is hilarious because the way they spout off like a commercial when they're talking about it.
It's totally a commercial.
They're like, you can mix in all these different flavors, and it's a really quick, easy meal with your friends. I was like, oh, my God.
Yeah. Oh, and a lot of the times I could not help when we actually sleep in like a hotel room or something, or an inn, or the RV, I just can't help but go gay because I'm like, all you men in one room, and especially when Noctis is like, oh, I can't wait to take a shower, and then Prompto happy about the shower too. I'm like, wait, are y'all showering together? Are you gonna wash each other's backs?
I mean, maybe they are.
What's going on?
Explain that to us.
And I bet she would love to see a scene of that, right?
I like to believe that Gladio is with Prompto.
Oh my gosh.
You know.
This big old bear and that tiny, you know what? Okay, anyway.
That should have been a scene.
Let's talk about the summons.
Well, as far as the battle system in general, I like it better, but how do you feel compared to the other games?
The battle systems, I like it because it basically made me reminisce about Final Fantasy 12.
That's true.
Yeah, because this is pretty much how it was going, and so, well, with the battle systems, but yeah, I did like how open it is. Like, you could go into wait, you can choose to do a wait mode as well, but I like how fast paced the battles are, and you kind of do have combos.
You do. Like, it was really hard for me at first to figure out those link strikes. I did not get as many in the beginning as I did towards the end. It was hard for me to team up with my friends in certain ways and have super aerial moves. Like, in the beginning, I was just chopping with my sword.
Yeah, I like push buttons and jump around and pull the directional key certain ways. It's like, hey, he's jumping backwards in his little warp teleport thing.
That's really, really cool. I like his warp a lot.
Oh, this makes me curious. Okay, in Kingsglaive, they explain that the Kingsglaive, they're his like special soldiers.
Mm-hmm.
All their gifts, like their ability to call upon the weapons, teleport, those kind of things, they're all gifted from the king.
Right.
But when you're like in the story, when you're just running around with your bros, it's like no one has weapons strapped to them. Their weapons kind of appear just like the Kingsglaive. So I'm like, is it because Noctis is the royal? They're tied to him instead?
Yeah, like, as soon as the king died, which is not so much a spoiler, that's like chapter 2. You become king. It's just now you're king. He died, and now you're the king. So now everybody's tied to Noctis.
But they were tied to him before that too, though.
They could have all been tied to Regis before. We don't really know.
See, I think maybe they were tied to Noctis because, you know, they were going on an adventure, and Regis knows when he dies, the wall would fall, all this stuff would happen once he dies. Well, the wall fell before that. But because it's like, I don't think he would actually send out Noctis, because it's like Noctis would probably have to go through some kind of process to tie everybody to him in the first place.
I mean, I don't know. They never explain that. It could literally be as simple as now Noctis is the king and it just transfers the power. They don't explain it.
They really don't.
So
that's another thing that's irritating.
As soon as Regis died, if they wanted to make it easy, Noctis could have just immediately been king, and then the people who were previously tied to Regis are now tied to Noctis. They don't explain it. It could be that easy.
Nope, not really. The ring. He would have probably needed that ring too.
The
to
ring
do something
is for him to be able to talk to the astral beings.
Yeah, and do extra stuff too, because he doesn't like the powers he. Don't
spoil.
That's why I stopped. Like, oh, sorry, you guys had to hear me grunt, but I'm like, I'm catching myself before I ruin anything for you guys.
God damn it, spoiling.
Not really, because you know what the ring can do if you watch Kingsglaive.
Yeah, if you watch Kingsglaive, which you should immediately before you play the game, or if you haven't, stop playing the game and just watch it.
Yeah, please watch Kingsglaive. It's actually a really good movie.
It is. It really is. I was trying to decide, is this going to be filler? Were they just trying to sell something? But it's good.
Yeah, it explains a whole lot, and it's kind of oh shit.
Like, I ship Nyx with Luna Freya. I don't even want Noctis with Luna Freya.
Honestly, I was kind of feeling the same way. I was like, damn, I this kind of chemistry. Well, sort of. I'm like, they're on an
chemistry
together. Yeah, I'm like, they're on an adventure together. He is like really giving it his all. I'm like, damn, you go, Nyx.
Yeah.
And then what happened to Nyx? I was like, damn.
Well, you kind of realize when you're halfway through the game and you haven't seen Nyx yet that he's probably not in it.
Right?
You're like, oh, why is that guy in this game? Yeah, I mean, I really, really like the combat in the game. Except for the summons really confused me, and they didn't always work exactly the way that I would have liked them to.
The summons I don't like.
Just at all?
No, I like them, but yeah, it's the same thing. Like, it doesn't confuse, like, okay, all the summons have a criteria as to when they're going to show up. And there's actually a time limit between how often you can summon somebody. So you can't summon them each battle. It's actually a pretty good time you have to wait before you can summon another member of the Six. I'm trying not to say summon again. I'm like, oh god, I'm saying summon too much. But like Ramuh is like the first summon you get, and his criteria is the longer you've been in battle, the more likely he's going to show up.
Okay, see, is that something they explained that I just blocked out, or
No.
Is that another thing they didn't explain?
They did not explain it.
Ah.
Oh wait, Titan was your first fucking summon. Sorry, I'm swearing. But Titan summon, because I actually had to look this up to find out, like, because I'm like, I have Titan, and I've never
never seen Titan. I've seen Ramuh a lot, And
because he has the easiest one.
I've seen Leviathan once.
I've gotten Leviathan once. Leviathan is, you have to be near water. You have to be in the danger state for it to pop up. The longer you're in the danger state, the more likely you're going to get the summon for Leviathan. For Titan, it's supposed to be like if your party members keep falling in battle and you have to keep reviving them, he's more likely to show up. And I'm like, wait, what?
But I've done that before. This is what is crazy to me with the summons, is that there have been battles that I'm in where I've used all of my Phoenix Downs because I've revived my friends 1,000 times, and it's just taken forever, and my summon never pops, ever, through the whole bottle. But then, through the whole battle. But then there are battles that I'm in where we're all fine, we're completely healthy, and maybe 2 minutes into the battle, it's like, press L2 to summon, and I'm like, why?
Right?
Why?
And it's like, especially when you're like kicking ass in this battle, it's like, I'm not about to waste my summon on this shit.
Yeah, I don't understand that system. It's never there for me when I need it.
It actually has been there for me when I needed it, and I love it because I was in a dungeon once, and I had to take down some really, really like strong enemies. And then all of a sudden I get the L2 and I'm like, yes! And I click it, and then here's Ramu just throwing he looks around the goddamn plains, spots where the dungeon I'm in is, and then just chucks his fucking staff. And I'm like, he's like, I got you, bro. I got this. And I'm like, Ramu, I love you so much.
I love Ramu. I love him. He just comes and destroys everything. He's like, I'm here for you. Just smashes everyone to death.
And then all of a sudden, it's like the ground is just aflame, and you're like, well, you just fucked up everything. Okay. Like, I've actually had it where Ramu has taken out enemies I wasn't even in battle with. They were just close enough. Because, like, all of a sudden, I'm getting props. And I'm like, damn, Ramu. Right?
Sorry about that.
And then everybody's just fine. Like Ramu picks up Noctis if you're outside, and then he just leaves the bros there. I guess he's like, well, I guess you guys would get out the way, but I'm going to get my guy right here.
Yeah, you'll figure it out.
But, like, Ramu's summon is beautiful. I've never seen Titans. I'm actually going to look this shit up online just so I can find out what it looks like. Leviathan summon, it's a goddamn tsunami, and I love it.
Yeah, I haven't seen what Titans looks like either.
Exactly. And then
no spoilers.
I know. I'm like, is it technically a spoiler? I'm like, whatever. I'm not even going to say anything.
It is a spoiler.
I'm not even going to say anything.
But before we talk about any spoilers, there were a couple things I wanted to talk about. I really like the car a lot. When I saw original trailers for it, I was like, is this car going to be something dumb? But I actually like it.
I love the car, and I love that you can customize the car. I've spent a lot of money on this car.
So did I. I like it a lot. I like you can customize it. You can find upgrades for it on quests for Cindy.
You can play music.
Yeah, you can play old Final Fantasy soundtracks in it while you're driving around. I went and bought the one for 10 immediately.
Which helps because... Oh, yeah, I got that one too. And they have one for Final Fantasy 14, by the way.
Where?
Oh, you've never found that one?
Because I would just listen to Titan's theme the whole time. Like, damn.
They actually have it too. They have Garuda and Titan's theme, and I'd listen to Garuda's theme back to back.
I would listen to the Titan theme because it's like a metal song.
Exactly. Wait, yeah, no. Yeah, they have it. And then they also have, because it's not from 14, it's actually from, I think Final Fantasy 3. When you go to the Crystal Tower, those songs?
Yeah.
They have that too.
Wow.
But that's like Final Fantasy, I think, 3 soundtrack.
Yeah, I really like the car. I was like, what are these Final Fantasy bros doing driving around in a car like Grand Theft Auto? But it ended up being really fun.
It's fun-ish. Like, I prefer to have Ignis drive. Like, okay, you can have Ignis drive to do auto driving, or you could drive manually. Driving manually, I don't like as much because you don't have that much control.
Yeah, you don't really. It's not really manual driving. Like, it kind of is, but you can't just flip a U whenever you want and be like, now I want to go this way.
Actually, you can. You just hit the button and you do flip.
Yeah, but you can't do it with the analog stick.
Yeah, like, you can't do it yourself.
That's what I mean. You can't drive however you want, all crazy all over the street.
Yeah. And until you hit a certain chapter or a certain strength level, Ignis won't drive at night either. So if you want to do anything at night or any driving at night, you have to do it manually, which kind of sucks because they don't have like a good waypoint system when you're driving.
I really, really did not like driving at night because you would get 2 feet and there would be an iron giant. Like you'd get in the car and drive a little bit and then he'd come out of the ground. Yeah. And it was just annoying. But I mean, at the same time, it was annoying to every time it started getting dark out, I'd immediately start looking for a camp like this was fucking Minecraft. And I'm like, oh, it's nighttime. The monsters are out. I gotta go to sleep.
Yeah, and what sucks about that is because for leveling up, not going to sleep every night is actually better because then you save your experience points and then you can go to an inn and get that bonus experience and you double your experience and you level up faster if you want to level up quickly.
Yeah, so now that I'm in post game, I've been doing that, and I won't sleep for like a week. Yeah. And they are just dirty, like disgustingly dirty. Like their jackets are all disgusting looking. Their hair's all nasty because they haven't slept or showered in over a week.
And it makes me wonder, like, okay, I'm running by these streams on my chocobo or just running on foot, and it's like, you guys can't just run in the water real quick and just, rinse off.
Nah, no, they gotta be dirty bros.
They do.
They can't be clean. That's ridiculous. But then see, the dirtier their hair is, it's easier to style. They just use the natural oils from their hair to get those cute little styles they have.
Okay, she's lying her ass off because the moment it starts raining, Prompto and Noctis are like, put the fucking hood up because they don't want their hair to get wet.
Yeah, they don't want their hair to get wet.
They specifically say, oh my god, my hair. It's the funniest shit ever. They are just completely crazy about their hair.
But what's funny about that is that Prompto and Noctis are the ones to complain when in reality, Ignis's hair would be the most fucked up if it started raining. That giant thing in the front would just flop down.
It would, and then he would have to like constantly just brush it out of his eye.
Oh god, that's the whole thing is him just brushing it out of his eye.
Right? And like Gladio's hair, okay, his hair would actually be okay in the rain because all he has to do is just like run his fingers through his hair, his long, luxurious hair. Yes, I actually have a thing for Gladio's hair. I'm sorry.
Gladio has like a classy mullet.
Exactly, but the rain would be okay for him because he just like runs his fingers back and keeps it slicked back. He's good.
He can have Prompto do that for him.
Oh my God.
That's my canon relationship of them is Prompto's braiding his hair. And they're talking while Gladio's reading his book that he always reads.
Oh my God. Because hey, Gladio loves cup of noodles, and Prompto can make one of those quite easily. You just get some water, hot water. God,
that's a whole scene. They go back to commercializing cup of noodles again,
right?
Whenever we're done for the evening, we want to braid each other's hair. We just pull out a nice cup of noodle. We had some hot.
And then Prompto's like, "Here, Gladio, I made you a cup of noodle just the way you liked it."
Oh.
Okay. Anyway. Before we start getting to our spoiler section, the skills.
Which skills?
That's something we should talk about real quick. All their skills.
Like
literally. Okay,
character?
no. The fishing. Okay, the fishing.
Oh, that skills. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
They literally call those the skills.
Okay. I thought you meant their individual skills, like Gladio's Dawn Hammer. I thought that's what you were talking about.
They call those techniques, sweetie.
Oh, wow. I'm not a real gamer.
She's not.
I'm a fake gamer.
She is. She's a gamer girl.
You couldn't say the names of the cities right.
Hey, but I can talk about, the fact that their Dawn Hammer, recoil, and shit like that. That's actually they're called their techniques. Oh. And the fishing, survival, cooking, and photography are their skills.
I will say I like every skill except fishing.
I don't like Gladio's survival skill or fishing.
Oh, you also stand by the fact that I don't like fishing because I didn't know how to fish.
You didn't.
That's probably why.
Okay, wait. You guys, I have to let you know. She just beat the game, and she just realized how to fish because I told her.
What's the point? It's so dumb.
Because Noctis loves fishing.
Well, I don't love Noctis. I love Ignis, and he cooks.
Yeah. So anyway, like all their skills are they level up throughout the game no matter what, pretty much, because it's like you're going to be sleeping in camp, so Cook and Ignis's skill goes up. Prompto takes photos, period, and you'll walk around, which is how Gladio's skill levels up. But fishing is literally the only one you have to stop and just go out of your way to do. Everything else is pretty automatic.
Yeah.
And that's like the most annoying part about fishing.
The problem I had with the cooking, though, is that I always slept in RVs. I hardly ever slept in campsites. And I don't know why he won't cook in an RV. It seems similar to me. It's not a hotel, so you're not getting room service.
Yeah, with the RV, with the RVs, you are near the diner. So they'd probably just eat at the diner.
So they're just so lazy, they just buy diner food instead.
Yeah, which makes no sense. Because an RV typically has like a little kitchenette type deal. So like, their campsite.
I would update it to where they cook at the RV in one of the updates that they're doing, because I think that my cooking is still like level 2 or 3 because I always sleep in an RV. And I'm just not in the campsites. I don't know. I'm just closer to town.
So when you go to Lestalem, you can go to one of the stands to buy some lunch meat. And it would give you the recipe for mystery meat, which is like a spam type version of sushi. You just go to a campsite and make sure, if you don't care about the experience boost or anything like that, but, just don't have an experience and literally just keep going to sleep. Just keep camping and cooking mystery meat over and over and over again. And you can max out your cooking skill if you just want to do it that way super quick, if you need to like finish it up or anything like that. But yeah, that's one of the easier and cheaper ways to max out your cooking skill without wasting your ingredients. Because sometimes it does suck if you cook and then all of a sudden you want to cook something else, but then you use some good ingredients, so you want to use your bonus stats.
It's really stupid, but I always feel bad making them sleep when it's not night.
I don't.
Because you'll go tell them and they'll be like, oh, it's a little early to camp, isn't it? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. Sorry, Ignis.
That's just like when you're driving around at night and then Prompto's like, hey, you want to stop? You want to camp? You want to go to this hotel right over there? And I'm like, no.
No sleeping or bathing for you.
And then Prompto's just like, oh.
He's sad.
Like, I don't care.
Whenever I tell him no, that we can't stop and take a picture right now, he gets so sad.
But at least it does save it as a quest, so you can go back to it.
Yeah, I'll go back, but usually you're on a mission. You're already doing something.
That's what I hate. And where he wants the picture taken is literally where you just left.
Yeah, it's never like right where you are.
It's like you have to bust a U and go back, because I've literally had to go back to a town after like literally just getting out of the town limit. And then the Prompto was like, hey, yeah, we should take a picture with that little thing over there. And it's like, Prompto, we just left. Why did you say that before we got in the car? He
said he wanted to take a picture, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing anything too important right now. And we flipped a U-turn, and it was in front of a rusted truck. And I was so confused, because usually it's like a waterfall or a new city, or it was just this busted, rusty old truck near this town, and we have a picture in front of it, and I'll never understand why.
Yeah, see... But those do give you a good boost to Prompto's photography. I just told you how to do Ignis's cooking skill if you just wanted to like boost it up real quick. Gladio, oh my god.
You can't really do anything besides put a rubber band around your analog sticks and just leave the game running.
You can't, because trying to level up the survival skill naturally means you don't use your chocobo, you don't drive as much, which irritates the crap out of you, because it's like the distance, the map size is kind of huge, so when you're just walking across the map, it's irritating. Like for me, I've walked all the way from Hammerhead to Lestalem and did not get a full level. for leveling up his skill. I was pissed off because I'm like, are you kidding me? I literally walked all the way over here and I accidentally kept going the wrong way. So I had to backtrack or go around the long way. So extra walking and still didn't level up.
Yeah.
And then you have Noctis's fishing skill, which, you have Noctis's fishing skill.
Which you just have to go do and be really annoyed the whole time.
Yeah, because it's like you can buy a MP3 player so you can listen to all the tracks, the albums you do buy throughout the game. And you can listen to it while you're walking around, but when you're fishing, all that cuts off.
I mean, regardless, like, I'll just fall asleep when I'm fishing.
Yeah, that's like irritating about it because I'm like, it doesn't mean like the fishing, it's relaxing, but it doesn't have enough benefits to me to want to just do it.
Yeah, besides, like, you get some ingredients for cooking, and you get some skills for the fishing, but that's it. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And so, it's not beneficial enough in the long run. You don't really
Yeah, because
need it.
I'd rather go hunt down certain monsters for their meat than fish.
Yeah,
if I want to use the ingredients for cooking.
At least it's more involved. You're not just standing there.
Exactly. And then you don't have to listen to the bros behind you making commentary because like their commentary gets annoying. You can actually turn off their voices in the menu, but make sure you turn it back on when you're done fishing.
No, I would never turn it off. Not my bros.
It gets annoying. Re-spool the line before it breaks. Knocked the line. Are you sure the line's gonna hold up?
Backseat fishing, goddamn.
I just want to tell you guys that I have all the trophies for this game, so obviously I had to fish a shit ton, and it's not fun.
It's haunting your dreams.
It is.
You wake up, I will re-spool the line, I swear. Oh my god, sweating everywhere.
That's how I feel. It just makes me want to cry, like, why? Oh, why do you guys hate me?
You gotta work for those trophies, Simone.
I already worked for those trophies. Thank you very much.
I'm gonna work for them now, sweet Jesus.
Good. Okay, it's not a spoiler at all, but the not Big Boss, the Adamantoise turtle thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like they called it a 72-hour boss. Like that boss is not hard, honestly. The boss is mostly annoying because you can dodge his attacks easily. It's just he does have 5 million experience. So, I mean, not experience, 5 million health points. So you're literally just button mashing the entire time. You can literally watch a movie and button mash the entire time and not die.
Yeah, but you're probably like level 80 something, right?
I attempted this when I was like level 70 or 88. No, I went from like 79 to 91. So I probably did this when I was like in my 70s, but it's still not hard. Like people actually have.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that people are saying online that you can technically battle him at like level 45, and it will take a long time though. Like
that's literally the only thing about it. Yeah, well, it's not hard. It's literally just it's because of the experience. So you're not doing enough damage basically. Mm-hmm. That is the thing. You don't do enough damage at a lower level unless you start crafting higher level spells. Oh, and the magic in this game is kind of weird too. But yeah, if you don't use magic or anything, it does take a longer time. Like I use my Ultima Blade the entire effing battle and occasionally pop some spells.
Oh, I still don't have that goddamn Ultima Blade.
Yeah, that's really annoying to get. Really annoying to get.
Well, we're running too long. We gotta talk about spoilers.
Okay, guys.
I'm so ready. I want to talk about spoilers.
Right? Okay, so this is literally your point of no return. If you do not want to listen to spoilers, leave now. If you do not want to hear spoilers, leave now. Hey, guess what, guys? We're about to talk about spoilers. I literally gave y'all like 4 warnings, so you have no reason to like complain if you hear spoilers.
Okay. I'm so excited because all the best parts of the game are spoilers.
Yes!
Okay.
Wait, can I talk about my other wife first?
Sure.
Tiana is my other effing wife because she's fucking Shiva. Oh my god! Oh my god!
You just wanted to say she was Shiva so bad. Yes! You're like, I don't want to tell people she's Shiva, but she is Shiva.
Okay, Shiva is like, bless my little gay ass heart. Final Fantasy X Shiva made me realize, oh my god, I really like
That's when you texted me in the middle of the night. I think I'm gay.
Right?
Victoria, I think I like women. I hope that's okay. I just thought
because she does her little snap with her diamond dust in Final Fantasy X, and what does she do in Final Fantasy 15? Multiple versions of herself and diamond fucking dust, and she like touches you, and you're like kind of like freezing to death and gonna die, but you know it's hot.
But it's a good death.
Like, you literally go from Gitiana walking past you and looking, like, glancing at you and transforming into fucking Shiva. And it's like, oh my god. Yes.
Now, I have a question. Did you see that coming? Because I didn't.
I will not lie. I did not see that coming. Like, okay. I guess, honestly, they did hint at it because they called her a messenger from the gods and everything like that. So what's to say she's not really a god?
I definitely thought she was something because of the way she secretly appears in the back of your photographs when she wasn't really there. And she has all these mysterious magical powers, but I didn't really connect it with Shiva right away.
Yeah, like, when Prompto does ask about how she appears like that, Noctis does explain that she is a messenger of the gods, so she's not really there. Which makes sense, and I'm like, oh shit. But yeah, you get Gitiana. Do you get I wonder if you get Gitiana during the train or the final battle. Well, one of the final battles.
I think it's the final one, but I'm curious, in the post game, do you have Shiva as a summon?
Yes, you do, and I love it.
Because I haven't seen it yet.
Her summon is pretty much, she needs a shit ton, she needs open space. But she can be summoned under any of the other conditions. So she can basically be summoned at any point. So either it's going to be like her or Ramu, if there's enough room.
Oh, okay.
And so when I first did her summon, I like cried my eyes out because I was so gay and happy.
You were so gay and happy.
It was amazing.
Okay, but is she your wife or is Arnea your wife?
Both.
You have two wives?
Yes.
Greedy.
I don't give a fuck.
Well, to be fair, I have 4 husbands.
Thank you. I'm like, I can have 2 wives. I mean, they can both literally kick my ass. One can freeze me to death, and one can, like, spear me from afar with her fucking lance.
I think that's what you like about them, though.
Yeah, I like women who can kick my ass. Well. That's enough about Simone. Let's get back to Final Fantasy 15.
Okay, so all of a sudden, the story, which chapter was it where Leviathan destroys Lestalem? Was that chapter 9?
Yeah.
Okay.
Literally the chapter when you're in Lestalem is like that. That's like that entire chapter. But yeah.
And I said Lestalem when I meant Altissa.
Yeah, I know what you meant. But
sorry.
Not. Yeah, so when Leviathan destroys Altissa, yeah.
That's when the entire story just shifts. The whole game becomes a different game.
It does that. It literally goes from, okay, you had your home destroyed, but it goes from your home destroyed, you're trying to go find Lunafrey to, you know, get married and shit like that, to people are starting to fucking die. AKA Lunafrey.
Yeah, all of it. Altissa gets leveled, Lunafrey gets killed.
By Arden.
That's when I realized I hated him.
And, okay, this is what I couldn't mention before, but I've told Victoria this before, but one of the kind of theories is Arden purposefully kills Lunafrey to make Noctis hate him specifically. I think that's what he does, because it's like, at first Noctis is, he's mad at the Empire because they just fucked up his family. But Arden was kind of helping them, and so you never know what side he's really on. You're like, what the fuck is up with this dude? And then all of a sudden, Arden kills Lunafrey, and now you have a strong reason to hate him. You go your entire, for Noctis, this is his entire life where he hasn't been able to see Lunafrey. They've only been communicating via Umbra to transport messages, and then finally it's like, okay, we're gonna get married, and so your entire part of the quest was, let me go find her. You get to the city she's in, and you're like, okay, it's like, you see each other, you make eye contact, and then when you're so close to each other, she fucking dies and you pass out, and so you never ever get to speak to each other.
Yeah, that was really sad.
Yeah. So I think that Arden planned all this shit, but yeah, to make Noctis hate him, to chase after him, he killed Luna Frey.
I mean, long story short, fuck Arden.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And hey, Arden kidnaps Prompto.
I was really, really sad when Prompto was gone.
Yeah, because Prompto is literally your happy sunshine child, and then he's gone.
That's how it just slowly gets more and more depressing. After Luna gets killed, and then you're just all on a train together, and Gladio's pissed at you.
Not only did Luna get killed, Ignis lost his eyesight.
Oh, yeah.
During that battle.
My baby Ignis is blind.
Yeah.
So then you're on a train together. Gladio and Noctis hate each other, and they're fighting the whole time. Ignis is blind, and he's using a cane. And
Prompto's trying to, like, make everybody happy or try to get everybody to, like, you know, just not be pissed off at each other, but he can't even manage it because, like, he feels for his friend as well. Because it's, like, one thing that sucks, like, Ignis does not need to wear glasses. They've actually said this in, like, one of their little cutscenes. They're talking about it. It's like he doesn't need to wear glasses, but he likes to see everything crystal clear. Yet his injury is being blinded. A man who likes to see everything crystal clear can no longer see a thing.
Yeah, I mean, they got really hardcore.
Yeah, they go from kind of happy-go-lucky to everything hurts.
It's just like a huge crash.
Yeah, and then Gladio is kind of an asshole, but I can sort of feel for him in, like, his reasoning to be an asshole is because he's supposed to prepare Noctis, like, you know, fighting-wise and get him ready to, like, you know, kind of be king. He helps with that. But, like, he can't even protect his friends. Like, everybody starts getting fucked up. He even goes off on his own little mission to try to get stronger or some shit and comes back with fucking scars and stuff. But he can't protect everybody.
Yeah, no, I saw all of their points of view. That's the problem, is that you agree with all of them, but they're all fighting with each other.
Yeah.
And you just want them to be friends again. And that was really, really jolting because you spent so much time in this open world with them as best friends, and all of a sudden they don't like each other. And it's really, really hard to see that.
Yeah, it's like they still kind of like each other, but yeah.
Well, they'll always love each other. That's not what I mean. I just mean that all of a sudden they're fighting all the time and there's all this tension between them. And even when you have, like, the camping or the sleeping, they're all just sitting there and none of them are talking. They're not joking. They're not playing the little card game they play.
Yeah, and you have, like, one of the camping scenes, like, right after Ignis gets injured, Gladio, like, he's looking at Noctis and then he just gets up and walks away because it's like he can't stand to look at him right now because Noctis, he's seeming like, it seems like he's being a whiny baby, but, you know, he is feeling, like, hurt too. And then it's even worse because, like, one mission, you take Ignis with you and you have to go explore and you're moving ahead and all of a sudden Gladio yells at you, but it's like before you can be like, oh my god, Gladio, you see Ignis is like he fell because he can't move too quickly since he can't see. And it just hurts, like, oh my god. You're no longer feel happy about this. You're just like, shit. And you don't want to move ahead because it's like, okay, I don't want to move ahead because Ignis, he can't see. He needs time.
Yeah, Jesus. That was really sad.
Right?
Yeah, like it's so hard to even talk about. And then they take little Prompto from you.
Oh my god, that was horrible.
Then they kidnap fucking Prompto, and then it's just you, Gladio, and Ignis.
Yeah, and then you finally go to Niflheim's, like, main city. Yeah, you can't explore it. That's something that irritated me. It's not an open world for exploration, but there was, like,
from chapter 9 onward, it's just entirely linear now.
Yep.
There's not
it does make sense when you're actually get to the city. There's no one there. So I'm like, you wouldn't have been able to explore and, like, buy stuff anyway.
By Arden anyway.
Well, not destroyed anyway, but it's like everybody was turned into fucking demons.
Yeah, that's true.
And so, like, this is chapter 13, and this chapter, it's irritatingly long.
Oh yeah, chapter 13.
Because you're just walking around by yourself, and that's when you finally actually put the damn ring on. When Noctis puts the ring on, because that's the only thing you can use. Which I think was another setup from Arden, because it's like he needed Noctis to use the power of the kings, and so he had to finally put the goddamn ring on, because he had the ring, because Lunafre gave it to him, you know, when she fucking died. But she hadn't put it on.
Yeah, and at this point, then they separate you from Ignis and Gladio. So they're just slowly separating you all and making sure that you're completely alone.
Yeah, and the battling sucks.
With the ring, yeah.
Like, you don't really fight anybody. Okay, yeah, there actually is an enemy that you have to fight. Or you don't have to fight him, you just fucking run away from him or survive long enough for the elevator to come. I forgot what his name is, but there's like no way you can kick his ass. Or you probably can.
Yeah, but at that point, you have the sword again?
No, before you get the sword, you have to fight this fucker. Or not fight him. Before you get the sword, you actually have to deal with him and like avoid him and run, because he gives you, like, he hits you hard, so you pretty much die with a one-hit kill. But you can't really fight back because you're only using a ring. And your holy skill, if you don't time it right, you lose too much MP.
I mean, chapter 13 was just Captain Planet.
Captain Planet. Gonna take motion down to 0. You started it.
It's just Noctis just pulls out his ring and he's like, with the power of the kicks. And it's just a recycling t-shirt on.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
That's what he does.
And you finally get, this, one of the royal weapons you get from Ravis, who's dead. He died off screen. I'm like, this is someone who's supposed to be important, and he dies off screen?
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. You find Ravis, Luna's brother, just dead on the ground around all these other soldiers, and you didn't see it. You don't know what his argument with Arden was, why Arden decided at that point he didn't need him anymore, so he was going to just be rid of him. And none of that is explained to you.
Yeah. Oh, and honestly, from Kingsglaive to Final Fantasy 15, Ravis looks like a completely different person to me.
See, I didn't notice that so much, but I noticed that if you want to understand Ravis's motivations, you kind of have to watch Kingsglaive.
Yeah. If you guys haven't watched Kingsglaive, since we're still in the spoiler section, in Kingsglaive, when King Regis took Noctis to their home city, home world, home city, whatever, home kingdom, there we go, that's what I'm looking for.
Tenebrae?
When he took him to Tenebrae, the Empire did attack, and they killed Ravis's and Lunafre's mother. And so Ravis is like, he's begging King Regis to help him, but King Regis is trying to get Noctis out, and he's taking Lunafre with him, but Lunafre decides to, stay with her brother and kind of hold off the troops. But, yeah, so Ravis is pissed off about that, for one thing, and that's, like, one of his big motivations. But when you get to the game, all you have with Ravis is that one interaction where he kind of kicks your ass, or he shows that he could kick your ass, which was awesome. And then you have a cutscene when the Emperor is talking to him, Aranea and his little research team or whatever. And then Ravis is dead. And then Ravis talks to Lunafre and Altissa, and then Ravis is dead. Like, that's all you have of him. You don't have any other explanation.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. Because if you don't watch the movie, you don't even understand that this is all about revenge for him. And his motives aren't as evil as Arden's are. His entire motive is just that he blames Regis for the death of his mom. And his home world, like his kingdom being taken over from the Empire because he didn't protect or help them out. Yeah, but that's not realistic. Like, it's not that Regis didn't want to help, it's that he couldn't. But all of these things happened to him when he was so little that he's held on to this grudge his entire life into adulthood. And
of course, the Empire would most likely foster this hatred.
Yeah, they let it fester out of control to use him as a pawn. So,
yep.
But they don't explain that, so you almost end up thinking that he's just evil throughout the whole game. And he's a much more dynamic character than just evil.
Yeah, and so then you have dead Ravis, and then you have Ravis resurrected by Arden to fight.
And he's just a really deformed looking demon.
Yeah.
You
and
know,
it sucks.
I wanted to mention how Chapter 13 essentially becomes a Resident Evil style game.
Oh, that's kind of true.
And I was just pissed because you know how I am with horror games.
Yeah.
And as soon as I started playing Chapter 13, I was like, okay, I'm scared. I'm scared. This is a really dark fortress. There's nothing here. It's really dimly lit.
And then all of a sudden, and something's grabbing you or jumping out at you.
Something grabs you every minute in Chapter 13. You're walking, it grabs you. You're walking, it grabs you. You turn a corner, it jumps down from the ceiling. It is all jump scares.
They literally, and they give you like chances to be able to hide to let the magic, whatever, Axemen,
the Magitech
like
robot thing.
Yeah, they're the Axemen, but so they can just like walk by you, so you can sneak around them. I was at the point where I was like, "F this," and I fought them all. Yeah, I'm like, I'm not about to try to hide. I'm just gonna fight you all.
I just killed them all. It was too difficult, and I was like, all of a sudden, this is a stealth survival horror game. And I'm terrified, and I was on the phone with my sister while I was playing, and I just kept screaming while I was on the phone, and she was like, please calm down. And I'm like, you don't understand. This is terrifying. I didn't expect this from the Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, if my videos are still up, I actually did stream pretty much the entire effing game.
Oh, God. Did you stream Chapter 13?
Yes, but I did not have a video up of myself. So the first time I jumped because of that shit, you guys would not have seen it, thank God. But it was terrifying.
I should have streamed me doing that because it would have just been jumping every 2 seconds. Like, it looks like I have a seizure. I'm just jumping.
Yeah, and with Chapter 13, finally at the end, you're trapped in this little room, and all of a sudden, here comes Ignis and Gladio, and you're reunited again. Yay! And then you go rescue Prompto. Yeah. Oh well, after you fight, you found Revis's dead body. Revis's dead body. You actually got the royal sword that your father had. The sword that your father used specifically. That's the one you get, pretty much. And
but even though you're given a sword again, exactly. You still didn't have all your other weapons that you worked so hard on, and you just have this one dumb sword. I still wasn't
And you have to be careful because all of the royal weapons chip away at your health when you strike an enemy. That was irritating.
Oh, I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so after you fight Ravis, and then eventually you get all the way to the top of the fortress where Arden and the crystal are, and then you enter the crystal, and you know how you're talking to Bahamut?
Yes.
I wondered what you thought about this because my personal theory is that he's in that crystal for 10 years, but I don't think that's right.
Oh, Noctis being in the crystal for 10 years?
Because then all of a sudden, when he's not in the crystal anymore, there's that time jump that we're going to talk about. But I personally thought that meant he was in the crystal for 10 years. But then it shows him, what was that prison thing he was in? That whole scene was confusing.
Angel something. That actually did confuse me as well, because I'm like, because they obviously moved the crystal because the crystal went back to Insomnia with Arden, but that wouldn't explain how Noctis's body was there. Like, I can understand his body being on that prison, except the yacht or boat, whatever you want to call it, the boat was docked at that island. So it's like they knew he would come back. If he came back, they knew he would appear there. So I have no idea what the fuck was going on with that, honestly.
I don't either. I didn't understand that part at all. And why Arden let his friends just leave.
Because, okay, Arden, I want to believe Arden either wanted to, Arden wanted to die because he's been alive for 2,000 fucking years. 2, Arden wanted to destroy the line of Lucius. Those were his 2 goals. And to do that, he had to basically groom Noctis into becoming his destiny. Because like Noctis was actually called the Chosen King by Bahamut, and he was told, that he would have to sacrifice his life, and so he's the last heir. So that would be destroying the line, and by giving his life, he'd be able to finally defeat Arden. Arden would finally be able to be defeated forever. So Arden would accomplish his goals. Yeah. So it's like, that's why he left the friends alone, because it's like, he could have killed Prompto. He could have killed Ignis. He could have killed any of them at any point. Hell, he could have killed Noctis at any point. But he's pretty much grooming him to be what he needs. Which is like crazy. Like, this entire game was like Arden's manipulations. Like,
yeah,
that's what
like
this
the entire game
was.
I want you to be here at this time and be here at this time and be doing this at this time so that eventually it can work out in my favor. That's like what the whole game was.
Yeah, because
Arden's
like Arden,
master plan.
Yeah, like one of the roadblocks, Arden gets you through it. Like, Arden gets you through so much stuff. Like,
that's why I wasn't
why
sure
was you
in
helping
the beginning if he was the bad guy or not until he killed Luna, and then I was like, oh, this asshole.
Yeah. So, like, Arden had his own little plots and plans. But anyway, with the time skip, okay, I have to say I loved the time skip because Older Noctis, I love Older Noctis, okay?
That's
he doesn't
true.
seem like a whiny little baby, but also, like, literally, they did change how all of the guys walked around, how they stood, how they carried themselves. They did seem different. They seemed older. Like, even though Noctis was, like, sleep, coma, whatever the hell you want to call him, being in that crystal, making his decision for 10 years, all of a sudden he's like up, he's like walking tall, he's regal, he seems regal. Like, the if you have like the bonus content, the outfit that you get for that, it fits Older Noctis perfectly. It's wonderful. And then the guys, I love how the bros, their hair changed. They do look a little older. Prompto was the only one who I didn't like as much because he had that like little soul patch going on.
Yeah, the only thing they did was add just a tiny bit of hair.
It's like Gladio's hair is longer, so is Ignis, and he changed his hairstyle a little bit. Prompto has a soul patch.
I wish that older Ignis, that would have been his hairstyle throughout the whole game. It was so hot.
I actually hope they do bring a lot, like some kind of DLC where you could have the older version of them when you go back to the past.
And I like Gladio's hairstyle in the future too.
Exactly, I like it too. He has his little man bun going on, and his hair.
Man bun.
But one thing that sucks, like, okay, throughout the game, you meet all these other characters, you make friends, and when you do your time skip and you get to Hammerhead, all you see are the bros, and you see Talcum.
Yeah, okay, I was upset that you don't see older Cindy.
Exactly, older Cindy, older Iris, Ariana. Like, I would, like, because, okay, Ariana, when you're on the train scene, she says she left the Empire. She commandeers some of their vehicles, and she's helping citizens evacuate. So Ariana probably would have been at Hammerhead helping out too, or like going from Lestalem or something, helping people. That's most likely what she's doing. So there was a good, like, you should have been able to see her. They talk about Sid, how he's still alive, but, he's older and he's living in Lestalem now. But you don't see anybody except Talcum, which he picks up Noctis.
Yeah, it was a little sad that you didn't get to explore a little bit more of that area, even though it was really terrifying and there were just demons everywhere.
Yeah.
And see everyone as their older selves. Like, you kind of only saw your friends, like you said.
Yeah.
And I kept going around Hammerhead looking for Cindy, and I couldn't find her. And then I Googled it, and it just said, you don't see her. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, which doesn't make sense, because it's like Cindy would most likely be at Hammerhead.
She
like,
would
Talcum
be
even
there.
talks about, yeah, Talcum even talks
job.
about how she helps keep the lights up and going and everything like that. Like, Cindy should be at goddamn Hammerhead. The only time she ever leaves Hammerhead otherwise is when you have to go to Altissa, and that's the only time you ever see her leave. But I'm like, you would see her in this time skip. So I think that is something they ran out of time with, because there were so many people you met along the way, but you don't see any of them.
Yeah, I don't... Okay.
And I actually kind of would have enjoyed if you would have been able to explore the demon-infested world a little bit.
A little. I don't feel like it would have been... Like, it would have been making 2 games if they made that entire open world open again.
It would have.
Demons and everything's destroyed. But maybe just a little bit of area around Hammerhead, maybe?
Or maybe when Talcum actually picked you up, you went to Lestalem, and then you went to Hammerhead.
Yeah, I mean, but you have to see from their point of view how much work that is. That's like that's like designing a second game.
Well, not if they had Talcum drive you to Lestalem and Hammerhead, like how he drove you to Hammerhead and you didn't get interrupted by any demons. They could have done it the same way, so it was like a quick thing.
Yeah, maybe. We'll never know. I hope that's something they're adding stuff. I don't know if that's something they'll add, but the cutscenes are the most important to me that they're going to add.
Yeah, I would actually have liked to see 10-year plus Cindy and 10-year plus Ariana.
Yeah, I would have too, and for different reasons though.
Of course.
So.
Oh, that final fight scene, and then the cutscene after it.
How'd you feel about the ending?
I cried.
Yeah.
I will honestly say that game did make me cry. Because like the cutscene where all of the Astral Kings are like going into Noctis and basically like killing him pretty much.
Yeah.
And then you have like the ghost of his father, like he's standing next to Noctis, but he has his back to him. And then Noctis is like, just trust me. And it's like, oh my God, like that hurt my heart. And cause it's like, it probably is like Regis didn't want to do this because like his son is about to die. His son's about to give his life, and his son never had a life technically.
Yeah, I mean that had to have been really hard for him. He kind of knew that was going to be the end game.
Regis knew that was going to be the end game period. He knew Noctis was the chosen king, and like, I believe Regis and Lunafre. Well, Lunafre's the Oracle. They both knew exactly what was going to happen. Noctis was like the only one. Well, Noctis and his bros were like the only ones in the dark. They did not know this was going to happen. They didn't know all this was going to go down. They thought, you're going to get married to Lunafre, go back to the city, take that shit back over, pop up that wall. No, none of that happens. Because even in the cutscenes, you could see Lunafre was sick.
Yeah, that's true.
Like every time she healed somebody, she basically just kept getting sicker. And they had a cutscene where they were talking about a new Oracle being born, so I'm like, wait, what the fuck? They never expanded on that. But anyway, yeah.
I mean, I think it's really sweet how they, obviously Noctis gives his life to get rid of Arden forever and the demons. And then they kind of show him and Luna in the afterlife where they finally get to be together.
Yeah, and one thing that was like seems significant about that, Noctis actually took his gloves off, and you see he doesn't have the ring on. So it's like the ring's no longer there or something, but that seemed kind of significant that he took his gloves off, and it's like...
I didn't even notice that.
Oh, that was like one of the first things I noticed, because when you first put the ring on, it seems like that you always just have it on after that.
See, I feel like in my story that his friends lived.
I think the bros did live because I honestly can't see them dying. They survived 10 years solo fighting demons, and then all of a sudden they're together, 3 of them together. They can't fight off a horde of demons. No. Until Noctis brings back the light. No. There's no way in hell. They died.
Yeah, I don't think they did. And a lot of people are misinterpreting when Noctis told them, I need you guys to take care of this out here. And then he left on his own to sacrifice himself. A lot of people are saying that they killed in the fight with all those demons, but I don't think so.
I don't think they died. Because I also think when he said, I need you to take care of this, like...
I think he meant the kingdom.
I think that too, because like... When you, after you finally beat everything, you get the cutscene of them at the campfire. Like, the way it starts off, it's like Noctis just told them, I'm not going to survive this. Like, literally, I have to die to bring the light back. So it's like they all knew what was coming, and they know he's not going to be there to run the kingdom. So it will be up to them to keep things going.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. I can't live in a world where all 4 of them died.
Right? Because I'm like, it's already, like, sad enough that you lost Lunafre, Noctis. I'm like, you lost a crap ton of people.
Even if there was a scene where all 3 of them got stabbed, I would be like, no, not in my Final Fantasy. I'd be like, oh, well, I still live in a world where all 3 of them lived.
Yeah, one good touch I did like was when you're about to go off alone, you ask Prompto for his photos because you want to take one with you. And when you get to the little future cutscene of him and Luna, that's the photo sitting on the armchair, the armrest of the throne. But really it's kind of funny because I've seen some people's photos and they have one of Cindy, they have one like these random photos, so like it's like hilarious.
Yeah, like I made mine all sweet, but you could like just have the regalia, and he just picks it up and he's like, I miss that car every day.
Right? My photo was of the bros at the Chocobo Ranch.
Oh, that's a good one. Mine was like a really good selfie that Prompto took of all four of them together.
Yeah.
But
and that was sad. And another thing I did like about it, after the game's done, you save your game. When you get to the menu screen, it's a new menu screen.
Yeah, that was really, really cute.
I love that. And so if you notice when you start up the game, it says recording has stopped because like I guess that's technically that's a spoiler for that menu screen.
Yeah, you're not allowed to stream the new menu screen. I noticed that too.
And you're not allowed to stream that final battle. Like I forgot what point you hit, but at one point you can't stream the final battle. Like, oh, you also fight Ifrit. You don't get Ifrit as a summon. You fight his fucker.
Oh yeah, why is Ifrit a sexy man? That was the first question I had because I'm used to Ifrit being this giant fire monster, right. And he was just like this buff guy sitting in a chair with fire around him, and I was like, I'm not mad. I'm just confused.
I don't know why he's a buff guy this time, but he's a buff guy this time.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, fuck it, right? Whatever. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh.
Yeah, and all that shit started because of Ifrit. Fuck Ifrit.
Yeah, Ifrit's a fucking asshole.
Yeah.
I mean, he's hot, but, most assholes are hot. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, God. Gets me hot.
I think he was.
You would. But yeah.
Anyway, I was really sad at the end. Everyone has their own theories because they haven't exactly given us enough. And no, that'd be giving them too much credit. I'm not going to say Square did that on purpose so we'd all have our own theories. I think that they just fucked up.
They totally just ran out of time.
I don't want to give them credit for that.
Like, I honestly want to say I could have waited another year for this game, but I'm lying my ass off.
Yeah, nah, I'll wait for some patches. I'm fine.
Yeah. Because I'm like, I know if they had another year, they probably would have been able to add so much more, but I don't think I'd be able to wait.
Yeah, see, now we'll just wait for some patches, and then we'll just have endless content.
Yep, because they have the holiday pack coming out soon. I'm hoping it should be this month because they are calling it the holiday pack,
Oh, did you see how Noctis gets a random mariachi outfit that doesn't make any sense?
In the holiday pack?
Yeah.
Nope, I have not looked at any of the items for it yet. That's actually what I was going to do today to see if they had any more information about it.
He has a mariachi outfit.
Wow.
I mean, maybe there's something from the story I'm not getting. That outfit would have come into play. But, I mean, I'm going to buy it because I'm trash.
Wow.
But I don't understand. And the outfits are just for Noctis, and until you give me some Ignis outfits, I'm not on board.
That's one thing I was hoping for. Like, you don't get outfits. Like, you can change your clothes, but you don't get outfits, which upset me.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed by that, too. Like, their casual clothes and their Kingsguard clothes, or their King's fatigues, and, like, that's it.
The King's Guard or King's Glaive clothes that they have, I love those outfits, but when you go back to the past, the King's armor looks horrible on young Noctis. Or not horrible, it does not look right on him.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, it literally looks like he's playing dress up in his father's clothes.
Daddy, I found this in the closet.
And so I will take the, like, stat hit and wear his other outfits because I'm like, that outfit only looks good on older Noctis.
I'll take the stat hit all the time. I have Ignis in his casual, really cool suspender outfit, like 99% of the time. I don't care if it makes me weaker. It's just, he looks good.
Yeah, say Square, you messed up with this because I'm like, I will put you in better looking clothes even if I have horrible stats.
Maybe just like everyone gets that same shirtless Gladio outfit. But just like across the board.
I'm pretty sure you want an outfit where Gladio has absolutely no top on.
And where Ignis is just like no clothes. Like maybe like the tightest pants, but no shirt.
You want him wearing a Speedo?
Yeah, sure. But he still has his glasses on and he still says dumb things about recipes, but he's in a Speedo.
That's it. What's what? I made a new recipe.
But he's just dancing around this little Speedo. That's the DLC we need.
No, I need a DLC where Ariana can join my party more.
Yeah. I would actually like that too. I liked her a lot.
Yeah, and another one of the DLCs actually will be adding more stuff about, well, like I guess the Luna Frey episode, so you can see what the fuck she does.
Well, we've ran way too long.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to do some chopping.
Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed.
Because we're at like, an hour and 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to do some chopping. That's way too long.
Okay.
But I'll chop it up and make it sound good. I just have so many things to say about this game. Maybe it should have been in 2 episodes. I'm not sure. There's just so much to unpack here. And maybe we'll revisit it again after they fix it with patches and things like that.
And have a completely spoilery episode.
Yeah, it's so difficult because they put so much in this game, and I could just talk for 3-4 hours about it.
Yeah, especially the spoiler parts.
Yeah, the spoiler parts I could go on for an eternity. That's what's unfair about it, is that the beginning is so slow and so repetitive and still fun, but then you start hitting all the meat and bones of the story just as fast as possible back to back to back after Chapter 9. And that's what you want to talk about, because everyone has differing opinions and it affected everyone differently. Emotionally tore us all apart. So it's really, really hard not to talk about those parts at all. But now we're at a super long episode. But I enjoyed it. I really, really liked this game a lot. And I was so sad at the end. But I don't have a problem with sad endings as long as they're done well.
Right.
It just needed a little bit more backstory to really get you involved in the ending. And then it's how it had to be. And, I mean, the world is saved. So take solace in that. Like, he saved the world. He did his job. So I don't know. That's it for me. Did you have anything?
I did not. I will be happy when the patches come out and possibly have a spoilery episode. No idea.
Okay. I mean, just if anyone ever wants to chime in at any time, you know all of our Twitter handles, and I kind of asked to see if anybody had any questions or opinions. I think everyone was still kind of unpacking emotionally and didn't have anything to say.
Yeah.
It's so sad. But that's open at all times. If there's anything that you want us to shout out or mention on the episode, I don't have a problem with that. It makes it more fun. And I'm going to do one here soon that's kind of a year-end episode. And then I still want to do some about Dishonored and some about Pokemon. So there's a lot more coming. Just need to get more on time. Consistent, yeah.
No, that's a good word. Consistent.
Okay. Well, I guess just let us know if there's anything that you want us to talk about, and see you guys next time.
See y'all.